Hello, I'm Ollie and this is CriminOlly, where I talk about crime, pulp, horror, that kind of thing. Today it's small, cute, affordable and it does everything. Here's my review of the Bigme B6 e-reader. Bigme very kindly sent me this device to review. I'll leave a link in the description to the video to their website where you can find out more information and buy one should you want to. That will be an affiliate link, so I do earn a small commission if you choose to buy one of their devices using my link. So the first question is, what is this device and who is it for? So this is a 6-inch colour e-reader. It has a colour e-ink screen. 6 inches is the same kind of size as the Kindle Basic or the Kobo Clara, so that kind of slightly smaller e-reader, smaller than the bigger ones like the Kindle Paperwhite, for example, which has a 7-inch screen. So this is a nice size e-reader to slip into your bag and take everywhere with you. The difference between this and a Kindle or a Kobo is that it's running Android. So this has Android 14 running, it has the Google Play Store installed on it, and what that means is you can install any Android apps you want on this device. So rather than being locked into the Kindle store or the Kobo store, you can install the Kindle app, the Kobo app, the Libby app, you can install like manga reading apps and things like that on this device and read whatever you want to, however you want to. So the fact it has Android makes it a much more flexible device than most e-readers. You can do pretty much whatever you want to on here, including installing the kind of apps that you normally install on a phone or a tablet. So what I'll do in this review video is talk to you a bit first about the specifications of the device, then I'll talk about the reading experience, what is it like to use it as an e-reader, and then I'll talk about some of the other things that you can do with it. So let's get on with those specs. So as I said, this has a 6-inch colour e-ink screen. It has a 300 ppi, so 300 pixels per inch black and white layer to that screen, so the same kind of resolution you would get on a Kindle or a Kobo. And then the colour screen, as is typical, is a layer across the top of that with 150 ppi. What I always say about these colour ink devices is don't expect it to look like the screen on your phone. This is a different kind of technology. It doesn't have as high a refresh rate as an LCD screen, and it doesn't have the same kind of vibrant colours as an LCD screen. But what it is a device that you can read colour content on, and it is much easier on the eye. So I much prefer reading on these kind of ink devices than I do on my phone. And the fact that this has colour means it's great for reading things like comics and magazines as well as text-based content. Other specs to bear in mind are this has 4 GB of RAM, so a reasonable amount of RAM for running applications. It's got 64 GB of onboard storage and a micro SD card slot as well, so you can expand that storage significantly should you want to. The brightness of the screen is adjustable, as is the warmth of the screen, so you can change the kind of tone of the screen. It also has different screen modes, so you can prioritise a higher refresh rate if you're watching video content on it, or you can lower the refresh rate and have a clearer screen with less ghosting if you are reading on it. Design-wise, it's a very simple device, basically a slab with flat sides, but it's nice to hold. Because it's not too big, it's easy to read on this one-handed. I have the black one, but Bigme also do it in other colours, including a very fetching matcha green. The other spec that's important to talk about is the price. So Bigme have this currently on their site, inclusive of taxes, for £136 or $179 US. So it compares very favourably to the Kindles and Kobos. It's a similar-ish kind of price, but it does a lot more than those devices. So let's talk about the reading experience. I've been using this a lot for my reading over the last couple of weeks, and I found it to be an excellent device to read on. It has Bigme's own e-reader app on it, which is really easy to configure. You can change font size and line spacing and things like that. You can get books onto here either by putting them onto a micro SD card or by plugging into your laptop and sideloading them, or you can do what I do and use some kind of cloud storage. So because this runs Android, you can install Google Drive or Microsoft OneDrive on here and download books directly from your cloud storage onto the device. I use an app called Calibre Sync, which means I've got my whole ebook library in the cloud, and it's really easy for me to browse it on this device and download any books that I want to read. And because it's running Android, you can also install the Kindle app, the Kobo app, the Libby app, whatever reading apps you want to, and read any books that you have stored in the libraries for those services. And you can also install things like Audible and Spotify, pair Bluetooth headphones with it, or use the inbuilt speaker and listen to audiobooks. I've also got the Viz Manga app installed on here, so that's a subscription-based manga app, and this is a great little device for reading manga on. I've also got Goodreads on here, so I can update information about my books as I read them. And if you fancy doing something other than reading, you can also use it for pretty much anything you would use your phone for. Now, because this has an e-ink screen, it's not going to be as good for watching video content or something like that as your phone, but you can watch videos on it. I also find it great for reading the news, scrolling Instagram, that kind of thing. So if you're someone who likes to consume text-based content on websites, this is a fantastic device. It's much nicer to read on than an LCD screen. You'll notice at the bottom of the screen there are 5 soft buttons, so those come pre-configured to do different things, but you can change them if you want to. I've done that on mine and I found it really convenient. There's also simple gesture controls built in, so a swipe up on the right of the screen refreshes the screen, a swipe up on the left of the screen opens the multitasker, and a swipe up in the middle takes you back to the home page. I found the performance on this device to be very good. It's definitely not as fast as some of the more expensive e-ink devices, but it's more than good enough for the kind of things I've been using it for. The battery life on it is also decent, so depending on my usage, I've been getting about a week or so between charges, but I have been using it quite heavily. That battery life maybe isn't quite as good as you would get on a Kindle or a Kobo, but this device is doing a lot more. And things like watching video content will definitely impact the battery life. The other thing that's worth noting is that unlike some e-readers, this one isn't waterproof, so you're not going to be wanting to read in the bath. Overall, I've been very impressed with this device. It's really nice to read on, and I found it more than responsive enough to do other tasks as well. The small size means it's great to just chuck in your bag and have with you wherever you go, so you've always got an e-reader with you should you need to read. Hope you found that interesting today. Do check out the Bigme site for more information, and as always, thanks very much for watching. Hope you're safe and well out there. Hope you're reading good stuff, and I'll speak to you again very soon. Cheerio.